All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Aquat that's listening in. Yahweh Rat our Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab One back at you with another lesson. And going into the title, her sins have reached onto the heavens. All right. And I'm going to show you a picture. All right. And based off that picture, I'm going to grab a couple of precepts. All right. But I'm going to read what it says. All right. So there's a picture of America. Okay. As you can see. All right. The Statue of Liberty twerking over here. Which is actually perfect because that's what this place is filled with whores. All right. There's always a twerk fest all over America. Okay. And, you know, the Statue of Liberty is considered as the whore of Babylon. Okay. Which America is really considered the whore of Babylon. I mean, the whore. All right. When you go into, you know, the 7 heads and 10 horns. All right. And America is the whore that sits on that 7 heads. Okay. But it says New York overtakes Vegas as America's most sinful city. Yeah, because Vegas is considered the city of sin. All right. But now it says New York overtakes Vegas as America's most sinful city. Okay. New York City overtakes Las Vegas as America's most sinful city, according to new study. Right. It says New York City has overtaken. This is another part of it. It's kind of saying the same thing, but it'll go into something else. It says New York City has overtaken Las Vegas as America's most sinful city, according to a new 2026 life, dating, demographics, alcohol use, and public health data. Researchers said New York City stood out because of its massive nightlife scene, including thousands of bars, hundreds of nightclubs, and a large population of single residents. Okay. Now, again, when you go into Las Vegas, Las Vegas used to be called the city of sin. All right. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Right. That was the motto. All right. For Vegas. But, growing up, I also remember New York being called the city that never sleeps, you see. And of course, like they're saying, it was because of the nightlife. Okay. Even though fucking New York City is a trashy ass place. All right. I don't know why people are so, infatuated with New York City. All right. Because you literally have people that come from all over the world. And the only place that's really, has a lot of, shit that you can, come and visit is pretty much Manhattan. Okay. Now the rest of the boroughs, they have their own little nightclubs and bars and, whatever the hell. But the main place is always going to be Manhattan. That's where everybody comes to visit. Shalom alaikum, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Barakatah, right? Brother Shapar. So, it's a trashy place, man. But me being an hour from New York City, I used to go to New York City a lot. So there is a lot of bars. There's a lot of the clubs. All right. A lot of those clubs, wicked as hell. There's a lot of shit that goes on in those clubs. Behind econometry nowadays, more than ever. All right. Back then they had it, but it was more on the low, but now you have, these clubs that are just filled with fagonometry, man. Okay. And then there's just other shit that just goes behind closed doors that, people don't know about. All right. So it basically, has topped off basically Vegas through the nightlife scene. All right. To the bars, which that place is known for bar hopping. You can go to New York City and you can bar hop from bar to bar with no problem. Okay. And then it's just hundreds of nightclubs and large population of single residents. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are single out there, all right, because the lifestyle that's being lived out there, Okay. And even the people that are married, all right, being caught up with the lifestyle that's out there in New York. There's a lot of shit going on of adultery, you know, behind closed doors, you know, people meeting up out there, whatever. All right. So it says America's 10 most sinful cities. Right. It says New York City at the #1 spot. 2 is Phoenix. 3 is Miami. And that's another one. Miami's very, you know, very much infested with evil. I did a video. It was a production video. As a matter of fact, I still got it. Let me play it real quick. Something that I used in one of the video, in the production video I did, was something that was crucial that was said in an interview. All right, which I'm gonna grab it real quick. All right, and she was talking about Miami. Okay. And it was heavy what she was saying. Let's grab it real quick. This is give me 1 second. Let me go into the video guru here that I have. All right. Let's see, which one is it? I think it's this one. I'll go straight to the point. I want to go straight to the point. This one right here. I did this back in February. So this one. Yeah, so listen to this. Listen to what she says.
It might be War of the Worlds happening right now on this third rock from the sun.
Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me get to the point. Wait 1 second. Hold on. Let me get to the point. Instrument of war, and out of his tongue, the great innumerable. Just bear with me. 2 seconds. Here we go. So listen to this.
Spiritual, because a lot of people are. Fascinating, because a lot of people are attributing a biblical or I guess spiritual explanation to what's been happening with these extraterrestrials.
And what she's bringing out,
these are really just
what she's bringing out was, if you remember a couple, I think it was a year back or maybe 2 years back, they had that incident that happened in Miami where it was like thousands of cops, you know, had to be called to the scene because they swear that they seen these extraterrestrials, these aliens, you know. And really, when I was doing the video, I felt like it was angels that were watching upon that place, you know, because of the wickedness that was being done there. And that's what she's gonna say. You know, she said it through the spirit. You know, watch.
Of beings made up of biological matter that exists elsewhere in the universe, or if these are perhaps demons or some other thing from the spiritual realm that has crossed over into our world. I don't know the answer to that. I would err on the side of demons generally, as we know, because I'm a crazy Catholic person. But to me, I think maybe the Miami thing is a distraction from what's been going on with the government cover-up of UFOs that we've been talking about on this channel, which has a lot more evidence for it than this specific incident.
Amber, I'm curious. I'm on Team Aliens, by the way. I believe all of the UFOs are aliens. I don't think they're demons, but what does it mean if they are demons? Is that what the Bible says when it's the end times? The Bible says when it's the end times? What the Bible says when it's the end times?
I mean, that could be part of it, but I think demons can show up for all kinds of reasons, and they have throughout history. I mean,
the sinners in Miami, Amber.
What's that?
It must be the sinners in Miami attracting the demons.
Well, it could be. There's a lot.
The sinners in Miami attracting the demons.
Well, it could be. There's a lot of sin down there, from what I've heard. But a lot of sin down there, from what I've heard.
A lot of sin down there from what she has heard. And see, it's no coincidence that she actually said that, because that's all through the spirit. Remember, everything is done through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Even things that are said, even the wicked will do particular things, and it's done through the spirit. All right, to maybe prove a certain point, to show a certain point, you know. So showing that Miami's third on the list, all right, for wickedness, all right, and sin is heavy because, yeah, you know, there's a lot of sin going down down there in Miami also, you know. New York is a top place, Vegas is a top place, Miami's a top place. All right, those are three places that people go all over the world just to visit, all right, and you know, have a whole week of, you know, filthy fun out there, man. You know, it ain't even fun, but that's what they call it, you know, fun. And it's really a bunch of wickedness that they're doing down there, right? A lot of women go down to Miami just to go cheat on their husbands, you know, get caught up with all these, you know, millionaires and people that got money, you know, and go live their life, all right? So it says New York is number one, number two is Phoenix, Miami's 3, Houston, all right, 4, Dallas, 5, New Orleans is 6, which that's another one. New Orleans, a lot of people just go to New Orleans for what is that? The Mardi Gras Fest. All right. And what happens in Mardi Gras is just a whole bunch of filthy wickedness also. Right. You have Las Vegas number 7. All right. So now Las Vegas is at number 7. All right. You have Chicago, 8, 9, Baltimore, 10, Portland. All right. Now, how real is this? How true is this? We don't know. But the point is, going to the title, all right, the sins have reached onto the heavens here in Babylon the Great. See, this is why Babylon the Great is about to be destroyed on a very high scale, okay? Because, you know, let's grab this. This is second Ezra's, right? 15. And let's take it from 5. It says, behold, saith the Lord Yahushai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. All right. And the main one, all right, even though this is going to come to the whole entire world, all right, the main place is going to feel it the most is going to be Babylon the Great. Okay. It says, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord Yahushai, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Yeah, see, so people here in America have wickedly exercised themselves, man. They literally practice wickedness out here. They exercise wickedness, man. Okay, that's why this place have been exceedingly polluted with wickedness, because it's like a cancer. It's like a disease. So it spreads, all right, from one place to another. You ever heard that song by DJ Khaled, and it got a bunch of people, Lil Wayne on it. I forgot who else is on it, but you know, it's called We Taking Over. And it's crazy because that song, when you really read the lyrics, is about the Illuminati taking over. It's about wickedness taking over one city at a time, because that's what they say. We taking over one city at a time. And that's what it's really doing. The wickedness of America is spreading like wildfire, man. All right. Town after town, city after city, a city after city, state after state. Okay. And now this whole place is infected with the evil, man. You see? So it says, in which they wickedly exercise themselves, behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Yeah, and this is why the Lord is speeding up the time for the elect's sake, you see, because we're constantly making complaints unto the Lord, right? This is Matthew 24 and Matthew 24 and 22, and it says, except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. You see? Why? Because we're about to enter into great tribulation. Okay? As it tells you above, it says, for then there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the world, since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. Okay? So you're about to witness a time that we have never seen in history, period. Okay, since the beginning of time. And why? Because wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. You see? So it's now time for this place to be judged. Okay, this matter of fact, let's grab this. This is Revelations 14 and 15, and it reads, let's take it from 14. It says, and I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon that cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. All right, yeah, because Yahushua is really, truly the real Grim Reaper, okay? And he's about to bring death and destruction to this place, all right, for the wickedness that's polluted in this place, right? It says, and another angel came out of the temple crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. You see? So it says, and another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. All right. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And another angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So the Lord is coming to harvest, right? Those, and with his sharp sickle, he coming to destroy those that are wicked, all right, which is a metaphor, all right? But he's also coming to grab his cluster, all right, which is what? The elect. You see, and this is why the Lord is shortening the days for the elect's sake, man. All right, because see, that's the charm right there. Because we have to, because we have to get out of here, man. You see, the elect is so vexed with the spirit of this place, man, and so vexed with the wickedness of this place that if we stay here that any longer, all right, it's almost like we'll end up fucking falling into the traps of this place, man. All right. Not saying we will, but that's what it will feel like. Okay. Because at the end of the day, the elect is not going to be able to be plucked out of the Lord's hand. All right. And because, all right, the Lord is ready to destroy this place, that's why he's about to deliver, all right, his elect. Right. So let's go to this. This is. This is Revelations 18, and let's take it from, let's just take it from 1. It says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. All right. It says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. See, this is the future prophecy for Babylon, America, that this place is going to fall. Okay. It says Babylon the great is fallen. It has become the habitation of devils. You see, it has become a habitation of devils, demons. That's what that girl was saying in that video, that Miami's just filled with all these different types of demons. That ain't just in Miami, man. That shit is across America. See, this is a place of witchcraft and sorceries. So as the scripture said, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, right? Against, you know, the rulers of darkness, okay? Against spiritual wickedness in high places, man. So much witchcraft and sorceries has been done to this place that's why you're always surrounded around nothing but demons, man. Okay? So this is a habitation of devils, of demons, right? It says it has become a habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit. You see, let's see what this word foul goes into. All right, this is a place of foul spirits. All right, foul. Foul goes into akatharatos. Akatharatos. Yeah, I think that's how you say it.
Akarthatos.
Right?
Akarthatos.
It says not cleansed. You see, and that's why the Lord is about to bring a spiritual cleansing to this place. That's why America, all right, as the scriptures say, let's grab that real quick. 2 precepts that I got in mind. All right, let's grab this one first. Isaiah 61. Right? I mean, Salakia 63 and 1. And it says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? All right. And this is talking about Yahushai. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in his greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. You see? So the Lord is going to bring destruction upon this place, and that's what this is a metaphor of him staining his garment, you know, red on his apparel. All right, from all the bloodshed that he gonna bring here in America, all right, because it's the day of vengeance for the Lord, right? It says, and I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there were none to uphold. Therefore, mine own arm brought salvation unto me, in my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring them down. And it's like, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. You see? So this is the Lord bringing the destruction to this place. Okay. Now let's grab this. This is Isaiah. And the ultimate destruction is going to come through the way of thermonuclear missiles, right? This is Isaiah. Let's grab it from. Let's grab it from 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. All right, which is the Edomites, right? And who's the ones that rule everything? These Edomites, okay? And upon the people of my curse to judgment, all right? The sword of the Lord Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord Yahweh has a sacrifice in Basra, you see? And that's really talking about America, okay? There's a sacrifice in Basra in America. So America has to have a true cleansing, a spiritual cleansing. So America's the altar, okay? The Lord's going to bring the thermonuclear missiles, which is the actual fire for that altar, and the people is the sacrifice, you see? So this place has to be cleansed. And the greatest cleansing agent that the Lord uses is fire, you see? That's why this place is reserved unto fire, right? So it says, and great slaughter in the land of Idumea, and the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord Yahweh's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. And when you continue to read, it speaks about how America will be this desolate place, a place never to be inhabited again. Just like the Lord overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, he's going to do the same exact thing to America, never to be inhabited again. From Cali to New York City, no one will ever put their feet on this land again, because it's going to be completely destroyed. It's going to go up in smoke from generation to generation, meaning a very, very long time. You see? So now let's go back to, right, that word, akathartos, right? I forgot to say it. Akathartos, right? It says, it means not cleansed, unclean, okay? So this is a place of every foul bird, of every unclean demon, soul, right? It says in the ceremonial use, that which must be abstained from according to the Levitical law. Yeah, because everything here is against the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. When you go into Revelations, the 11th chapter, it talks about how, and their dead bodies shall lie in the great city, which is known as Babylon, which is known as Sodom and Egypt spiritually, right? And where the Lord Yahweh Shai was crucified, meaning the ways of Yahweh Shai was X'd out. See, this place, America, has X'd out the ways of righteousness, has X'd out the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's why this place is dead, all right? Because he that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Right? This is the valley of the shadow of death, right? The valley of the dry bones, all right? Because these people have no knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, all right? So it says, in a ceremonial sense, that which must be abstained from according to the Levitical law, in a moral sense, unclean in thought and life, you see? And what did the Lord
this is why the Lord destroyed the first time this place with a flood. Okay, let's grab that real quick. Why did he destroy this place with a flood? Right? Let's read what I just read. Right? It says, in a moral sense, unclean in thought and life. Right? Now let's grab this. This is Genesis, I think that's 6. Genesis 6 and yeah, this is 5. And Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and creeping thing and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. You see? And eventually that's why the Lord took out, you know, the first time everything by a flood. You see? Now he's reserving this place for, let's grab that, first for fire, right? This is 2 Peter 3 and 6, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, look, by the same word that was being preached in that time, is the same word that we're preaching today, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. You see? So in today's society, you have those same spirits, right, of the flood, okay, still back today, okay? Every thought of man is continual evil, man. And wickedness has exceedingly polluted the earth. We're more wicked than the wicked himself, right? Our people have overpassed the deeds of the wicked. So imagine how pissed off, all right, the Lord is with our people and just with this place, period. You see? And that's why eventually the Lord's going to bring great destruction here to Babylon the Great, right? So let's go back to, in a moral sense, right? This is for the word foul, every foul spirit. It says in there, in a moral sense, unclean in thought and in life, okay? And to be unclean is to be basically like Esau is, profane. You see, to be profane means to be outside of the temple, all right? Outside according to the ways of the world, to live in the flesh, not living through the spirit, right? So it says, Strong's definition goes into as a negative particle and a presumed derivative of meaning clean, cleansed, and pure. See, this place is impure, all right? Especially demonic, you see? This is why America got to go. This place is demonic, man. Foul and unclean, morally lewd. All right, let's see. It has some root words in here, which it looks like a compound word, right? Let me see. The first word is alpha, all right, which it says the first letter of the Greek alphabet. Then it says Hamashiach is the alpha to indicate that he is the beginning and the end. That's right. All right. Let me see. Nothing being said there, right? Let's go back to the other part of it, which goes into Cathahero.
Strong's G 2508.
Cathido, right? It means to cleanse of filth and purity. See, that's why the Lord is going to bring complete fire upon this place. Just like how we're being put through the process of purification through the fire, the trials and tribulations that we go through, the Lord puts us through that fire to cleanse us, to make us pure again. The Lord is going to take Babylon the Great, all right, this whole world, and hit it with thermonuclear missiles and destroy it to make it pure again. You see? That's why when you go back to let's go right back to it real quick. 2 Peter 3, and let's take it from 9 down to 13, right? It says, The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, that some men count slackness, but is long suffering to us. We're not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. But the day of the Lord Yahushua will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with a fervent heat, and the earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Why are the works going to also be burnt up? They're going to be burnt up because it's impure here. You see? So even the works of Babylon the Great has to be cleansed here also. You see? So it says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holiness, right? In all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth where there dwelleth in righteousness. You see? So that's what we're looking for, right? To be cleansed, this place to be cleansed of the filth and impurity, so we can usher in, so the Lord can actually usher it in, right? So Yahushua can usher in the new heavens, the new earth, you see? Where there dwelleth in righteousness. In order for you to take out the wicked, to bring in the righteousness, you have to take out the complete wickedness of this place, man. You see? And then most of all, our people. And who has to be set in it? One that is profitable, because the wicked beareth rule. So when the wicked beareth rule, the people, what? They're mourning. They're constantly mourning. But when the righteous are in authority, the people's going to what? They're going to rejoice. You see? So this place is not going to rejoice until the wicked, right, gets taken out of the way. Okay? So going back to that word, right? Cathedral, right? It means to cleanse of filth and impurity, to prune trees and vines from useless shoots. Woo! You see? Because, as a matter of fact, let's grab that. This is, what is that? I believe that's John. This is the 10th chapter, or is that the? Might be 15. Give me 1 second. Yeah. See, Yahushua said, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, and that it may bring forth more fruit. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. You see? And he's the one that makes all things new. The Lord said, I make all things new. So we have to have Yahushua come here, because he's the true vine to success. You see? He's the true vine to everything, period, to make it pure again, especially our people. That's why our people have to abide in Yahushua's word, man, because that's what makes you, all right, become a vine that continuously keeps growing. And see, he purges us through the trials and tribulations so we could continue to grow. Okay? But whatever's not useful, right, has to be taken out of the way. All right? Because it said what? It said, oh shit, I lost it. Let me just continue reading this real quick, right? It says, if a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned, you see? And even though the Lord not dealing with Esau, see, this world doesn't abide by the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, so it has to be casted into the fire. You see? It says, if ye abide in me and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. Okay? Let me see if it says, let me grab something real quick. he purgeth it. Let me take that word. He purgeth it. Right? It said, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. Every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it. Okay? This word purgeth it, when you go into it, again, it goes into that same word. I knew it was, right? It goes into that same word in Greek.
Strong's G 2508. Kathairo.
To cleanse of filth and purity, to prune trees and vines from useless shoots, you see? So he has to purge this place, man. Okay? Metaphorically, from guilt to expiate. How you say that? Oh, shit. I believe that's how you say that. Expiate. Let me see. Expiate, right? Expiate means to make amends, atone for, or extinguish the guilt of wrongdoing. You see? So this place has to be destroyed for the wrongdoings it has done. Okay? Especially our people more than anything, because we are the Lord's chosen people. We are his chosen generation, his royal priesthood, right? It is a formal verb usually applied in context like crime, sin, or heavy transgression. You see? So this place is filled with crime, heavy transgression, heavy sin, right? The Lord said in Hosea, let's grab that real quick. Hosea, this is Hosea 4:1. Hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, ye children of Israel, for the Lord has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of Yahweh in the land. By swearing, lying, killing, stealing, and committing adultery, they break out, and blood touches blood. You see? That's why we continue to live in iniquity. Iniquity is when you do these things habitually. See, this place has exceedingly polluted that limit. And who's the one that pushed that vibration to the world? Esau. You see? To the point that our people have overpassed the deeds of the wicked. So there's only one thing remaining for Babylon the Great. It has to be destruction, right? So let's go back to, that was the spirit too that came out. From the vine to John, what was I? Revelations 18, that's where I was, right? We went to foul, which we just read the same exact thing that was being said, all right? Of every foul spirit, which goes into that same word we just read, okay? Yep. All right. And then Strong's definition went to cleanse, especially to prune and purge. All right. And the root word of that word, kathiro.
Strong's G 2508.
Kathido.
Kathairo.
Right. That the root word of that goes into katharos.
Strong's G 2513.
Katharas, which means again clean, pure, physically purified by fire. Woo! You see? So every foul spirit in this place has to be what? Purified by fire. Okay? It says, in the similitude, like a vine cleansed by pruning, and so fitted to bear fruit. It says in a so it has to be pruned in order to bear the true fruit, which is going to be who? The fruit, the first fruits of labor. It's going to be ran starting with Yahushai, all right? Yahushai is the King of Kings, Lords of Lords, all right? But King David is going to be the king that rules, right? Then the 12 down to the 144,000, which is 12,000 from each tribe. But see, they're the first fruits of labor. See, so it goes into what? By pruning, so fitted to bear fruit. So now the true fruit of the earth can bear and actually be in this place, all right, and be able to that's why we're going to be able to live forever, because the true fruit that are coming from the vine of Yahushai, all right, are the ones that are going to be in rulership. All right. They're going to be the ruling body in the kingdom. All right. It says in a Levitical sense, clean, the use of which is not forbidden, imparts no uncleanness. See, the use of which is not forbidden. You see, when you get the true men in rulership, all right, this place, they're not going to be forbidden. Okay. But see, this place is forbidden because of the wickedness, right? Ethically, it says free from corrupt desire, from sin and guilt, free from every admixture of what is false, sincere, genuine, blameless, innocent, unstained with the guilt of anything. Ooh, you see? So this place is going to be free from corrupt desire, from sin, from guilt, right? From blameless, innocent, from blameless, people going to be blameless, innocent, and then unstained with the guilt of anything. You see? None of that. We ain't even going to be able to think folly if you wanted to. See, once the Lord establishes what he has to, right? So let's go into finishing that up in Revelations 18, right? So it goes into, and he cried, this is 18:2, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, which that's America, right? Is fallen and has become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird, right? For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of the fornication, of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Yeah, all these nations around the world have benefited off America because America is the one that has all the Israelites in it. You see, really, they're benefiting off of us. Okay, without the Israelites, there is no money for these people around the world, man. Because we are innumerable. We are innumerable like the sand of the sea, as the scriptures say, right? So they're making money off of us. Okay, all these different products, all these different devices that they use around the world. Who do they feed it to? They feed it to our people, right? All this clothes that comes from China and all these different products that come from around the world. Who are they giving it to? They're giving it to the Israelites, right? And then the rest of the people that are in the mix. So it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, which our people need to come out of the ways of Babylon, meaning the mentality, right? The Lord said, transform the renewing of your mind, okay? Be not in the same mentality that Babylon the Great is. The way these people think in America is sloppy, man, all right? It's wicked. So we have to, the Lord said, be separate, be ye separate, and I will and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. So to be separate is to be what? Is to be holy. Okay. It says, come out of her, my people, that you may not be partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. And what's the plague? All right, that's going to come to America. All right, being hit with them thermonuclear missiles. By who? All right, Ezekiel the 38th chapter. The main one's going to be Russia, that's going to smack this place and pretty much annihilate it with the rest of these other nations that are going to turn against America, the allies, all right, the rest of the nations around the world. And this is why you see World War III that's building up to is getting to its full potential. Okay. It says, be not that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. Right. Let's grab that real quick. This is Zechariah 14:12. This is the plague, right? It says, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. You see? And that's talking about when the thermonuclear missiles hit this place. All right, these people going to be utterly beaten into powder. Okay. Just like you see in that movie Independence Day, when you got the woman, she grabbing onto the fence, and you see how the missile came and basically burned her, and she just burned holding on to the fence. That's how it's going to be out here. All right. So let's go back. Revelations 18:5. For her sins have reached onto heavens, and Yahweh has remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she has filled to her double. how much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit as a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. And that's the mentality of America. America thinks that they can't be touched, you see, because at one point America was that powerhouse that was ruling for such a long time. Everybody was afraid, you see. They had dropped the atomic bomb. They had that power, right, that nobody had at one point. But so now all these other nations have the same exact power that they have and more, okay? The weak now said, I am strong. They're showing their teeth. Okay. So now this place is going to be rewarded. All right. Double. Okay. Let's grab this. This is Isaiah, and I pretty much start closing it out. This is Isaiah 47. Right. And let's take it from 1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. And why is she being referred to as a virgin? Because a virgin is someone that ain't never been touched. So America's this place that ain't never been touched. Ain't never really go through, you know, what is coming to them, right? It says, the O daughter of the child, Salakia, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt not no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones, and grind mill, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the river. So she's being referred to as basically a whore, right? What do you do with a woman? You take everything piece by piece off her body, right? So that's what's being spoken of as a metaphor of America. She's being exposed, right? The whore is being exposed for the wickedness that it has done. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will meet thee. I will not meet thee as a man. Yeah, when Yahweh shall come back, he not going to come in human form. He going to come back in angelic form. You see? So the Lord coming to destroy this place in angelic form. It says, as for our Redeemer, the Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name, and the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient thou hast very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou said, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou did not lay these things to thy heart, neither did remember the latter end of it. Yeah, because as if there for everything that has a beginning, right? As the scriptures say, let's grab that real quick. This is 2nd Ezra's 9 and 5. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. You see? So there has to be a beginning and there has to be an end, right? And that's perfect balance. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, right? It says, even so the times of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And the Lord in these last days is showing you the signs. He's showing you the effects of what happens, right? You have cause and effect. So things were caused. Now here comes the effect to it. Wickedness was caused. Now here comes the effect to the wickedness, all right, of this place being destroyed, right? Let's go back. This is Isaiah 47 and 7. And thou said, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou did not lay these things to thy heart, neither did remember the latter end of it. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given into pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And that's the pride of thine heart in America, that they think, all right, that they're not going to experience these things. Okay. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, and one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. You see, because all the witchcraft, the sorceries, all the unclean spirits and demons that they have brought upon this place, you see, this place is going to get smacked with what? The loss of children and widowhood. Okay, meaning that great destruction upon this place, right? It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it has perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt, look, the same place. See, reward unto her double. This place rewarded you with evil. Now the Lord gonna reward America with the evil. Okay, because the Lord said, what shall a city how's it go? Amos, real quick. Amos 3:6, and it reads, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people be not afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord has not done it? You see, so now the Lord is going to bring his evil destruction upon this place. All right, not because the Lord is evil, but because this place was wicked. So it's being rewarded. Okay, onto is being rewarded double onto what it deserves. All right, so hold on, go back to 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Okay, now let's finish it in Revelations 18, right, and 7. How much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit as a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. You see, that's what's coming here to America, man. Straight judgment, and it's going to come by the way of thermonuclear missiles. So whoever the Lord got here in America, right, that's not of the elect, is not an Israelite. The Lord got them here for a reason, because they all gonna burn in the destruction. You see, that's why you got so many different people that come from around the world just to live here in America. All right, because every single person that has been brought here is being brought here to the destruction. See, people think they're coming out here to make a better life, right? To you know, home of the brave, home of opportunity, you know, land of the free, land of the great. Okay, not realizing that the Lord got your ass over here just to destroy your ass in that thermonuclear fire. You see, because your ass was probably wicked as hell. Whether you came from another country or not, you were doing all types of wickedness. So the Lord got you right here. Why you think the Lord got all these damn Hasidics out here? Okay, so-called, you know, JEWs, right? Why? Because most of them is going to be burnt in the fire out here. The only ones that are going to be able to make it is going to be the elites that rule the world. Only because they're going to be the first fruits of slavery, man. Okay, in the kingdom, they're going to have to cleanse the earth. They're going to have to clean up the earth. They're going to have to bury all the bodies around this place. You see? So this is why her sins have reached onto the heavens, and the Lord is about to destroy this place, man. Because wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. All right. So I'm going to pretty much leave it there through the spirit. You know, Lord willing that you will edify. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom, keep fighting the good fight of faith, enduring as good soldiers of Yahweh Shah. Stay prayed up and continue to pray that this place get destroyed, man. A Bible ball real soon, because here we have no continuing city, man. All right, here all we continue to witness is wickedness, 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 and it keeps growing and growing and growing. All right, and it always finds its way around you. You see, that's why we always, you know, in a battle with the spirit and the flesh, man, because this place is just filled with foul spirits, man, with nothing but demonic spirits. You see, so we have to, you know, continue to pray that this place be destroyed. All right, Shalom, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah to the brother Kazak. All right, so, you know, with that being said, Shalom, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah, Bible ball soon. Shalom.